Ordering a breakfast muffin and latte can come with a double dose of guilt. That's because you might feel an employee's eyes are on you when you get to the tipping option on that little screen. Etiquette expert Diane Gottsman joins us this morning. She has some advice on how to handle this uncomfortable exchange. Diane, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. Thanks for coming on. So tablet tipping, iPad tipping, touchscreen tipping, whatever you want to call it. There are different situations, obviously, where it makes sense to tip and others where it really doesn't.
So that tablet tipping is not all bad. It feels uncomfortable, and most people gripe about it, including myself. But we have to realize that it does serve a purpose. Oftentimes we don't carry cash. It's easy to leave a tip, on the tablet. Or if you're not great with math, it kind of gives you some prompts on what you should tip or what they suggest you tip. But there's also a no tip and a custom tip that you should be familiar with. And not all transactions require a tip.
And what are some of the transactions that do and some that don't? I know you've had an experience with buying a T-shirt where it's something you really don't need to leave a tip for. Talk about those things.
That's right. So, if they grab and go, meaning if they grab something off a shelf and hand it to you, or if they give you a prepackaged sandwich or a pastry, it's not required. If you want to leave a tip and you're generous, by all means do so. I'm not trying to discourage you, but it's when there are actions involved, when there's movement, they're making something for you, they're giving you exceptional service, they call you by name. I mean, it's really up to you. But I think that tipping is gracious, but especially on the iPad or a tip jar, it's not an obligation. But you have to keep your game face on because, you already know that you're going to encounter that tablet. And so rather than getting surprised, there's no surprise. Just be prepared. If you're not going to tip, if you know that you're going in, they're going to hand you a pastry. It's grab and go. You're not grabbing it. They are. Just say thank you so much. Again, it's totally up to you. It really depends on the situation. I bought a T-shirt. They handed me the T-shirt, and then they were suggesting a 30% tip. Certainly, the person across from the counter from you is feeling the same uncomfortable moments because they're consumers too. They're customers as well. So just rest assured that they're feeling the same angst when they are standing across the counter having to look at that iPad and make a decision on the tipping.
Yeah, so they're often in the same boat. They're as uncomfortable as you if they are giving you a T-shirt and it's not really a required tip. Do they realize that sometimes? Do all employees?
They do. They do. Employees understand if they're reaching back and handing you something, you will notice because you're not looking at them, but they're around because they too are standing there feeling uncomfortable. Again, if you feel that you want to leave a gratuity, by all means do so. I feel like we should be generous, especially during these times. We're kind, we're polite, but it's not a pressure tip. And we all feel like all eyes are on us. Like everybody is looking at us to see what we're doing. And really, they're already worrying about themselves as well. They're probably not as worried about you as what they're going to do when they get up to that tablet to tip. So tip graciously when you do tip, but make sure it's warranted. It's not, every single transaction does not require a tip. Feel free to hit the no tip or the custom tip if you want to leave a little something, but not as much as they suggest.
Diane Gottsman, thank you so much. That's great advice. Any other advice on that before we go?
I think that just be prepared. Just know that they're expecting that angst, you're expecting that angst, and just be kind, be polite, and that's really what matters.
Diane with Protocol School of Texas, thank you so much. We appreciate you.